The bumblebee, a tiny, clumsy-looking thing. A creature that goes unnoticed by most, and unwanted by many, as it visits blossom after blossom in its daily business. But the bumblebee is an agent of creation. In following the blind dictates of its nature, it creates miracles that rival the finest inventions of mankind. On Gregory Bald in the Great Smoky Mountains, the bumblebee has created a botanical garden of hybrid azaleas like nothing else in the world. On a Saturday morning in late June, we set out to visit the Garden of the Bumblebees. It seemed appropriate to have a beekeeper in the party, as well as a veteran of many backcountry adventures. Our overnight route began at the Twentymile Ranger Station on the North Carolina side of the Smokies. We would climb 3,700 feet over the course of about 7 miles, using Wolf Ridge to reach the Gregory Bald summit. There, we would spend some time with the azaleas. On the way down, we would hike the long Hungry Ridge Trail to Campsite 92. We would spend the night there, and then follow the 20-mile trail back to our car in the morning.
Like right at that intersection. Oh, okay. That half-mile intersection. Like, will we go down this way or go back to where we came from?
The day promised to be hot and humid, so we enjoyed the cool morning hours while they lasted. The path was lined with delicious-looking chanterelles. The sunlight pouring through the treetops seemed to impart its energy upon the water of 20 Mile Creek, causing it to fizz and foam. The rhododendron blossoms looked like summer snowballs floating among the greenery. As noon approached, the trail steepened and the temperature rose. We heard reports of bears from fellow hikers and finally saw one ourselves, a frightened cub halfway up a tree. My shirt became drenched with sweat. My head throbbed. But my discomfort was a small price to pay for the expanding beauty of the mountain. And as we gained elevation, a cool breeze began to stir the leaves. Great swaths of ferns swayed like seaweed in the waves. The occasional azalea appeared, as if to beckon us on to greater things at the peak. I was nearly out of water when we reached a creek near the top of the mountain. There, we refreshed ourselves and gathered water before the final climb to the peak.
I have used like white vinegar a couple times. I've used bleach.
And then we were there. We stood frozen in awe while Gregory Bald burned with azaleas in endless variation. It was the mountaintop of my dreams. I would say that I felt young and innocent there, but it wasn't quite that. It was more like I ceased to have an age and a past. The beauty of the place seemed to overwhelm all my personal history, all hunger and thirst, all pain, all anxiety and despair, leaving behind only joy and gratitude and a love for all things. In the perfumed air, sitting down with strangers seemed as natural as sitting down with old friends. Not far from where we sat, the Bald broke off into a gulf of open air with Cade's Cove at the bottom. Storm clouds shrouded the top of Thunderhead Mountain, while on our own mountaintop the sun washed us in a benevolent glow. Too soon, we noticed that it was getting late and we were growing tired. We took the long Hungry Ridge Trail down the mountain, and on it we developed a long hunger. The forest began to darken and to grow hot and muggy again. When we were far enough down to find running water, there were no bridges over the creeks, so we forded them in our shoes and socks. The cold mountain water soothed my aching feet. We made camp at the upper flats between two creeks. The sound of water permeated the site. Samuel showed me how to pitch the tent I'd bought from him, and then I made it my own. The midsummer night descended slowly while we ate our dinner.
Oh. See clear skies over there.
Have you seen a river run through it? Gosh, how like you are right next.
And when the fireflies began to blink, I stood in the creek and washed my legs and arms and face, and I readied myself for sleep.
What's your favorite movie?
I awoke to birdsong and golden treetops. With the doors of my tent rolled back, it felt almost as if I'd slept without a tent at all. We were in no hurry to leave our tents. There was a short day ahead of us, and it was all downhill. So we enjoyed a lazy morning until we felt a few drops of rain. Then we made haste. The rain picked up and made the ferns glossy, but it didn't last. Soon the sun was out again, and it felt like we were hiking in a rainforest. We were grateful for the creeks that followed the trail. We stuck close to them, sometimes climbing down onto the slick, dark rocks to feel the spray of the rapids and watch the sunlight dissolving into the water. One of those places was the 20-mile Cascades. We remembered how good the water had felt on our feet the night before, and so we waded into the pool beneath the waterfall, sometimes stubbing our toes on the hidden rocks or losing our footing in the current. When we came up gasping for air, it felt like waking up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that.
We returned to the trail refreshed and walked the final stretch in our wet clothes. I can't remember ever feeling so little fatigue at the end of a hike. I think Samuel and Nick felt the same way. We had witnessed one of the fleeting wonders of the world. It may be that the conditions will never come together for us to see it again, but in some timeless corner of our memories, we will always stand among the azaleas upon Gregory Bald.
Alright, here we are on our way home from our weekend in the Smokies, and I just thought I would have Samuel and Nick share their thoughts. What do you guys think about these last couple days?
I think you want me to go first? Or
I'll go ahead.
Okay.
I had an absolute blast. This being my second time in the Smoky Mountains. Just being able to do 3,700 feet of climbing in just a matter of a couple miles was absolutely amazing. And then being treated to the most beautiful sights that I've ever seen, just being up on top of the Bald and seeing such beautiful flowers and just having a wonderful time with good guys and getting to celebrate awesome swim at the Cascades just kind of topped it off. So wonderful weekend, and I just can't wait to do it again.
And I guess for me, one of the things I took away from this weekend was how particular area and its natural beauty, how it can almost be overwhelming to you, like emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, whatever you want to insert there. When we got to the top of Gregory Bald, there was so much happening with what I was sensing and feeling and looking at between the mountain vistas and the azaleas and everything that it was almost like my brain was shutting down in some capacity because of just not being able to comprehend just how magnificent everything was around me. So that was a really cool moment to get to experience that I don't know if I have in too many other places. And then I've been used to going on trips where I'm cranking out a lot of miles previously, and it was really refreshing and relaxing while, I mean, this wasn't remiss of challenge. We had some pretty hard climbs on this trip, but overall mileage, getting to shorten that down during a weekend, that was just a breath of fresh air for me. Like, I don't feel as physically just like absolutely beat up like I have in the past, and it kind of makes me want to do that again in the future. And then the last thing is, I feel like we were talking about this on the drive down. I feel like most backpacking YouTubers have their kind of little tribe that they kind of associate with watching other people's videos, going on trips together, and I'm kind of getting a sense that this is kind of our tribe. Like, we've been on multiple trips together between the three of us and two of us and other times, and I think that we really enjoy spending time together and enjoy one another's company. It makes the trips going out better by being together. So thanks to Chad for organizing the trip. It means a lot, and I can't wait for the next one.
Thank you both as well, and I really enjoyed having you both with me. Let's do it again.
All right.
All right.
In today's blooper reel, we have a bearded man and a plant and a backwards camera and a weary, tired hiker who is hungry.
What did he do?
Is there any way on y'all's shots that when we walk back, do I look at the camera or just...
Whatever you want to do, and then I'll...
Dude, your face is in that, man.
Don't tell me how to live my life. Oh yeah, alright. Boone, you're gonna be in my dreams tonight. Came true today. Smoky's natural. Beyond the campfire, they meet in person. Blooper time in, that's not the bluegrass, it's the volunteer state. Wow.
More exclusive bluegrass backcountry footage in the field.
Blooper! I wonder when I'll get my camera falling over blooper that I have at least one of on every single trip.
Oh boy, his phone just flew over.
No more bloopers, I promise.